Have you ever wondered how you can get 10,000 plus followers on any social media account? Well, this video, I want to share you exactly how. So just about to go into the car and we're going to drive through Dubai, and I'm going to kind of share with you how you actually do this. And it's simple, right? And I'm going to share with you what I would do if I was you, and if I was starting from scratch, I had no social media followings, and I did not touch any of the contacts and connections I already had. I don't want to be able to cheat and be able to say like,
hey, can you shout out me? Can you do this?
And it's not going to cost a single penny. So no ads, nothing like that. And let's go and take you through Dubai and share with you what you got to do. All right, so we're just leaving Dubai Marina now. We're heading downtown to where the Burj Khalifa is, go do some shopping and some things to do. So Svetlana and I have lived in Dubai Marina for a little while now, 3.5 years, something like that. And we absolutely love it. The environment's great, the people are great. Everyone wants to connect and collaborate and do different things, which I didn't really find so much in Europe. I love Europe, but yeah, the weather's definitely better here.
And Al Sharjah.
The sat nav wants to get involved. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna take you downtown, I'm gonna pull over in the car, and I'm gonna share with you the tips on how you can grow to 10,000 followers. All right, so I've taken a moment to pull over here so I can kind of be fully focused on you. Ignore all the baby stuff in the back. Mia, her car seat's still up there. So there's a mirror as well there so I can check on her when I'm driving. Anyway, she's not in there. So let's talk about getting 10,000 followers, your next 10,000 followers, your first 10,000 followers. And I'm gonna do it from the perspective of if I was to start from completely scratch. Now, over on Instagram, I have, I think, 250,000 followers. On TikTok, nearly 200,000 followers. YouTube channel here is 70,000 subscribers, something like that. And on Facebook, I have 2 accounts and on around like 250,000 followers as well. So I've done it myself, but more important of all, I've helped people go way beyond what I ever achieved. So this is what you want to do. I'm going to give you the steps. Step number one is you need to identify the people who already have one of 3 things: your ideal follower, your ideal customer, or your ideal team member. Let me give you an example. So if you want to, say, grow an account on like being a yoga instructor, or you just really love yoga and you want to share your stories about learning yoga and improving yoga and becoming a master in yoga, or whatever the terminology is, you need to go onto the platforms and you need to go and find who already has an audience full of people who love yoga. That's the first one you need to identify. And I want you to aim for like 50 people. So then step 2 is kind of an add-on to step 1, is going on to all the different platforms, going onto Facebook, onto Instagram, onto TikTok, onto YouTube, onto LinkedIn, onto Twitter, or X, whatever it's called these days, going onto these platforms and go and find these people. So a hack that I use is I actually use YouTube, because YouTube is just really easy to kind of establish like what someone's account is all about, what someone's channel is all about. You can't really fake the number of subscribers on a YouTube channel. I know people can buy them and stuff, but if it's got a decent number of subscribers, a fairly decent number of views, and like a decent number of comments, they're legit. So then I would go and find them on Instagram, because Instagram, you can message people, you can communicate with their stories and so on and so forth. So identify, then understand the platforms. The third step really is aim for 50 people. I know, it's going to be a lot. It's going to feel like a lot. So I want you to find 50 people who have either your ideal customer, your ideal team member, or your ideal follower. And I want you to set them to favorites. Now, when you're on Instagram, and you're on someone's post, let's say you find an influencer's post, in the top right-hand corner, the 3 dots, click on that and click add to favorites. Right? That then means that you're going to see their posts when you go onto Instagram, but they basically are going to appear first. The second option is you can go onto the influencer's feed, onto their profile, and click the bell notification, just like on YouTube. You can click the bell notification to be notified. And all this will do is when that person posts a story or a reel or a video or a photo, you're going to get notified. And you can do that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. All right. So make sure you favorite the people's content that you want to actually see. Instead of you allowing the algorithm to be in control, you've got to take control. This is one of the biggest hacks to making sure that you get inspired and not comparing yourself to other people. Comparison kills confidence. And a lot of people, they go onto social media in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and they have an entire day of comparing themselves to other people, and it just destroys your confidence. And confidence leads to actually taking action. Action leads to experience. Experience leads to more confidence, right? So when you you have the belief to do something, you take action. When you have the action, you get the experience. When you have the experience, you gain confidence. And when you have the confidence, you believe in what you're going to do. But if you don't have the confidence, you won't have the belief, and therefore you don't do what you've got to do.
It's a nightmare.
Anyway, let's keep going. So we've found the platforms they're on, and we're building a list of 50 people. And then step 4 really would be, as I mentioned there, is add them to your favorites. The 5th step, go and establish which pieces of content have blown up the most for these people. So it could be a reel that's got 3 million views. It could be a post that's had 3,000 comments. It could be a post that, is being shared thousands of times. So you've got 50 people, and then you're going to establish how many posts on each one in the last 30 days. You don't need to go back 3 years and establish a happy birthday post, or them getting a new dog blew up, so you need to have a birthday and you need to go and get a dog. That's not the case. Getting a dog will help, and having a birthday will help. Definitely don't fake it though. There's just absolutely no point in doing that. The next step is going and doing your own version of their content. Now, it's already worked. Now, the chances of it working for you is more likely than you coming up with an idea in the shower, or you having a brainstorming session, or you approaching a branding firm and saying, hey, what should my colors and my logo and my fonts be? And when should we get a website? And should I get a photographer to create loads of photos and blah, blah, blah? Pointless. Go and see what's already worked for other people. Go and do your version. And the last step here would be for you to go out there and just do a post every single day. Establish what works best for you and then double down on it. I know it's a big last step, but post every day. Once, twice, or 3 times, right, in your public feed for the world to see. This can be across all the platforms, meaning 3 on Facebook, 3 on Instagram, 3 on YouTube, for example, right? 1 on YouTube is usually enough. But anyway, and start to establish what has the most amount of reach, what has the most amount of engagement, what has the most amount of views, all of these different things. And then after 60 days, 90 days, go and repost them. Again, as if it's a new piece of content. I grew up on don't change the message, change the audience. And social media is exactly the same thing. Too many people are focused on changing their message to change their audience, when in reality, you know what the message is you want to share. You just don't know how to package it correctly. So you need to go out there and already leverage who already has the following that you want, who already has the people or the audience that you want, and go and do what they do. Now, there are going to be some little hacks, tweaks, tips, and different things for the algorithm along the way, but the reality is just get started with this for the next 90 days. If you don't see any growth on any of the platforms, then there could be something that you need to improve. But remember, you can build and post on all the platforms, but you're most likely going to grow 1, maybe 2, and it might not be the one that you really want to grow. So listen to what your audience wants. Listen to what the algorithm is helping push you. And if you end up being a beast on TikTok instead of Instagram, so be it. If you end up being an absolute machine on Twitter or X, and you thought you wanted to be a machine on Facebook, then so be it. Don't focus on the platforms that you feel that you need to grow on. Focus on the platforms that your audience seems to be established on. It's so funny when I speak to people who are maybe in their 50s, their 60s, and they're starting to hit,
oh, Instagram's the new thing, Instagram's the new thing.
I'm like, well, Instagram's not really a new thing.
And they're like, oh, I need to learn it, I need to do it, learn it, otherwise I'm going to get left behind.
You're not going to get left behind at all. You focus on where your audience is. You don't change the message, you change the audience, and the audience will most likely be on the platform that you are already on, because your audience is like you. And if you're on there, they're probably on there as well. So that's what I would do if I wanted to grow an audience of 10,000 people from scratch. And I would love to hear your opinions in the comments. How many followers do you have currently? And then let me know what platform that is. So say Facebook, 3,000, TikTok, 1,000, Instagram, 0, YouTube, 0, whatever it might be. And then a year from now, set an alarm on your phone, come back to this video and go and see how many followers you've grown by. 10,000 is not a magic number. It's just a number that we do the video on, right? The magic number is dependent on the number of people who fall in love with what you've got to share. And maybe we'll share that in another video. Anyway, I'm going to go back on my trip here in Dubai. The air conditioning turned off and I'm absolutely boiling. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.